Hello. Hi. Hujamba. How are you doing today? This beautiful Tuesday. I hope you're having a beautiful day because today we are going to talk about something that is really, really important when it comes to language acquisition. Uh-huh. And today's topic is very controversial. And we are going to talk about, can you claim a culture if you actually don't speak a language? Can you claim a culture if you don't speak its language? Can you really do that? I want us to dive into this discussion as we get to know how we should deal with this. But again, I want to ask you a question that might make some of you very uncomfortable. So, if you don't speak your language, can you still claim, the culture as your own? Can you really claim the culture as your own? If your parents are Kenyans, but you grew up speaking English, if you understand Swahili but can't speak it, if you don't know your mother tongue at all, does that make you less Kenyan? Uh-huh. Does that make you less Kenyan? What do you think about it? Uh-huh. Or does it make you less African? Or less connected to your culture? So, this afternoon, we are going to debate around that. And I don't want you to give me easy answers. I just want to dive into the bitter truth that we know. Uh-huh. And to be honest, you don't. Do you think language is necessary for culture identity? Is it yes or no? So, do you think language is necessary for cultural identity? Yes or no? Give me a minute, I adjust my lighting. I don't know. Is it much better now? Yes, I think it's okay now. So, as I was asking, the question that I was asking is that, do you think language is necessary for cultural identity? Is your answer yes or no? Now, we are going to look at language, culture, and identity. All these three. And the question is, do you think all these, yes, three things are actually inseparable, or can they actually exist independently? Can all the three exist independently, or these three things are actually inseparable? We are going to have two sides today, and side A is yes, where we think that language is fundamental to culture. Uh-huh. Language is fundamental to culture, and here we are going to discuss language carries stories, it carries human expression, it carries proverbs and traditional knowledge, it connects generations to generation. Some cultural concepts are difficult to translate, and then we're also going to look at speaking the language can give you access to communicate and experience that translation cannot fully be cannot that cannot fully provide. And then we have side B, and side B, this is where we have no. We now today we have two colors, green and red. So yes is green and no is red. And it says that you do not need to speak language to belong to a culture. So, which side are you? And we are going to look at these points that culture include much more than a language. And then families actually migrate. Children grow up in different linguistics environment and language can be lost across generations. And then lastly, identity can survive even when language proficiency actually does not. Uh-huh. And my question now is, so which matters more? What you speak or where you come from. Uh-huh. What matters the most? Is it what you speak or where you actually came from? So we've said we have two sides, yes or no, and we are going to debate this carefully. And again, you'll type in the comment section, tell me which side are you on? Are you on side A or side B? Where we said side A talks about language is fundamental for culture, and then we have side B which talks about you don't need to speak a language to belong to a culture. Which side are you on? Is it green or red? Type in the comment section as we continue having this engaging discussion. And you you are not really one of us problem. So you actually don't speak the language, or worse, you are not really Kenyan if you actually don't speak Swahili. Those are people who are telling you that. How does that make someone feel, or how does that make you feel as a person? Yeah. But again, I have another question. Who gets to decide whether someone actually belongs to a certain community or a certain culture? Who decides that? Again, is language ability a legitimate test for cultural authenticity? Authenticity. Hey, the word has refused. Uh-huh. What do you think? I know you know what I wanted to say. So, do you think it is the legitimate test for that cultural? Uh-huh. I have a question again. Have you ever been judged because you couldn't actually speak the language you were actually expected to know? That you are out there, you live in diaspora, and then when people hear that, oh, you are Kenyan, they actually expect you to speak Swahili. But unfortunately, you don't. Have you ever been judged where they say that, oh, you're not Kenyan if you don't speak? Or people who are Kenyans judging you and telling you that, oh, you actually do not belong to us. You're not one of us. Have you ever faced such discrimination? How did it make you feel? Yeah. How was it? Did you make you want to know your language so that to be in a position of having these conversations with um, people? Did it make you thirst even more for that language? Or how did it go? Did you say that, let me not say it. Let's continue. Okay. And the first thing that we are going to look at is that language is part of belonging. Uh-huh. This, remember here, we are discussing side A, which is yes. Uh-huh. Language gives you access. Imagine, let us imagine this. Imagine knowing the language your parents speak. You can actually understand the jokes that they make. You can understand their stories and even contribute to them. You can understand their expressions. You can know, you can actually build memories around it. And you can actually see their world view, how they actually view the world right now. Uh-huh. So if you can't understand your grandparents' language, which part of that relationship might you be missing? Or which part of that relationship have you been missing? So this language carries cultural knowledge. And what are these cultural knowledge that this language carries? We have, proverbs, which helps us, learn mostly about values. We have songs, which would know the history. Maybe they're singing of a particular thing. We have stories, which gives us identity, we have expressions, which gives us the world view of, you know, the world view. What happens to cultural knowledge when that language carries actually disappears? What happens to the cultural knowledge if language carrying it disappears? Would you still maintain knowing that cultural knowledge, or it just disappears with it? Another thing is that language carries community. Speaking the language can create an immediate sense of connection. Uh-huh. Like, language carries community. And we say that you speaking that language, it creates an immediate sense of connection. I was having a discussion with someone, and then this actually, it was a colleague, and this person had gone to another state to go and work there. And in that state we had a few, actually, let's just say that we did not have people. There were literally a few people who would speak his native language, but again, it would be hard for you to find them. Then one day he actually went to the market, and then he found that the lady who was serving him was actually speaking the language. I'm telling you, he was so happy to find that, oh, actually there's someone who speaks my language. So they created connection there. Mhm. And from that creation, connection that was created, a community was created, because this person, for the better part of his stay in that place, he'd always go to that place to go and buy his groceries. So, see, he created a community. He created his community because he speaks that language, and from that, there was a connection that was also created where he felt like he belonged. So, have you ever had someone speak a language that immediately made you feel, these are my people? Have you ever been in such position where you went to a place where you do not know anybody, and actually nobody speaks your language, and then when you found that one person who speaks your language, you felt, ooh, at least, these are my people. Have you ever, or has it ever occurred to you in that way? So type in the comment section, tell us your experience and tell us what you think, or tell us how it made you feel. Did you feel connected? Did you feel happy? Did you feel like now you are home? Yeah? Okay. Let's continue with this discussion. And now we are going to discuss against, where we are going to say that culture is bigger than language. And this is where I really need your input as well, those who are watching us. I really need your input. Do you think that culture is bigger than the language? But here is where I disagree with the idea that language determines identity. Yeah. I disagree with the notion that we say that language determines identity. Do you know that someone can actually know their history? They can actually eat their traditional food. They actually follow their they follow their cultural traditions, celebrate the cultural holidays, listen to their traditional music, know actually their family stories, and maintain relationship with their community. And actually still, they do not speak their heritage language. But now here is my big question: would we really say that that person has no cultural identity? Maybe let me ask this question again and start with saying that now we are discussing this question where we say that culture is bigger than language. And I said as we were starting that I am going to disagree with this, the idea that language determines identity. And I said that someone can actually know their history. This particular person can actually eat traditional food, follow cultural traditions, celebrate their cultural holidays, listen to traditional music, know family stories, and actually maintain relationship with their community. But still, this person does not speak their heritage language. Would you really say that now this person has no cultural identity? What would you say? Please type your answer in the comment section and let us continue with this discussion as we see where it leads us and what to really expect here. But again, if language is a passport to culture, what happens to people who lost their language through immigration? Mm. Mhm. What happens? What happens to them when they lost their language through immigration, colonization, adoption, education system, or family circumstances? Does it mean they do not have identity? Yeah. Let's keep the answers coming as we see where this discussion leads us to. But remember, I said I disagree. Do you disagree or you agree with it? All right. Let's move on swiftly. Do you remember in my previous live stream we talked about this famous third culture child question? Uh huh. And I asked the same question: what if, or what actually happens when a child grows between cultures? What happens when a child grows between cultures? For example, a home, this we have Swahili, stroke the Kenyan culture. At school, we have English. Friends, friends, remember these are, international, meaning that it is English. Online, which we have now the global culture, it is English. This child may actually feel I'm not completely from here, but I am not completely from there either. And now I want us to discuss the two foreign at home, two African abroad, not fluent enough, and not culturally enough. Mm. Does now that does language make the third culture children feel more rooted? Or can that, you know, can the pressure to speak perfectly make them feel even more disconnected from where they are coming from? What do you think? We have said that at home, they feel too foreign in their own house, too African being abroad. Not actually, they also feel like they're not fluent enough. And then another thing, they feel like they are not culturally enough. And my question was, does language make third culture children feel more rooted? Or can the pressure to speak perfectly make them feel even more disconnected with their culture? Uh-huh. I like it when we go into the real life scenarios because they really help us understand what we are discussing here. You know, we have scenario number one, and in scenario number one, We have a Kenyan child grows up in America. They speak English fluently. They understand some Swahili but cannot speak it. Are they still Kenyans? Yes or no? Are they still Kenyans really? This is an yes or no answer. You can type on the comment section what you think. And then we have scenario number two. And in scenario number two, someone speaks, perfect Swahili, but knows very little Kenyan, very little about the Kenyan culture. Are they culturally Kenyans? Uh huh. Would we say that they're culturally Kenyans? That they speak perfect Swahili, but they know very little when it comes to, the Kenyan culture. Can we say that now they are, the question, are they culturally Kenyans? Yes or no? Uh huh. And scenario number three, someone doesn't speak Swahili, but they cannot speak Swahili at all, but they know their family history, their traditions, their songs, the foods that they eat, their community. And the real question is, are they less connected than someone who actually speaks Swahili fluently? Compare this with scenario number two, where we said scenario number two speaks fluently, but little about the Kenyan culture. And here, this person does not speak but actually knows family history, knows their traditions, their songs, food, as well as their community. Are these people less connected than someone who actually fluently, speaks fluently? Uh-huh. You can drop your answers in the comment section as we continue. Those who are joining us, our discussion today is um is around if you can actually claim your culture if you actually don't speak your heritage language. That is what we have been discussing, and we want to see what is really true and actually what happens or what you actually think. Let us look at scenario number four. And in scenario number four, we have parent who says, if you don't speak our language, you are losing your culture. If you don't speak a language, you're actually losing our culture. But I have a question to that. Do you think that is motivation or guilt? When we say that, are we motivating our children or we as parents we're feeling guilty about it? Ah, what do we think that is? So remember, keep your answers coming. We said we have two sides, A or B, where we say that at the end, we are going to see which side won. Uh huh. Again, I'll still remind us about scanning the QR code so that you get to look at our Tayari.live app, which will be so essential for your bilingual children. It has so many nice features that I believe that your your children are going to enjoy using that app. If you are unable to sign in, please send us an email at learn send us an email in learn at tayari.live, and we will be in a position of scheduling a call with you and help you through signing in and showing you how the app runs. But maybe in my next live I might show us how we should you know sign into the app and help you navigate through. So let us continue with our discussion. And here now we are going to look at, like, does fluency equal to authentic? Forgive me for that authenticity. Yeah, authentic. It just refused, but I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, does speaking language make you more cultural authentic? Do you think that speaking that language is going to make you, be more authentic? Uh-huh. Someone can actually speak Swahili perfectly and still know little about Kenyan history, cultural tradition, family history, indigenous knowledge, and community practices. Yeah. Meanwhile, we have someone who is actually limited to Swahili, might deeply be connected to their heritage. I know you know that. Uh-huh. So maybe language is evidence of cultural connection, but not proof of what we call the cultural identity. Do you see that? So, yeah, like maybe language is evidence of cultural connection, but it is not proof of cultural identity. Yeah. So that is very, that one is maybe leading us to almost to the end of this live stream, where we, or those who had different opinions, are starting to see which side to lean on mostly. Is it side A or is it side B? Yeah, we have said that you knowing that language is cultural connection, but it is not a proof that you actually, it's not a proof of cultural identity. Uh-huh. So, can you actually reconnect? If someone lost their heritage language today, is it too late? Can they actually reconnect back to their roots, to their heritage? Uh-huh. Yes, we can. And that's where you have adults learning Swahili, adults actually learning their mother tongues, and, you know, and also adults learning their grandparents' language. And they start in simple, simple steps and simple, simple ways. They may start with habari, uh-huh, ninataka, nina, asante, and gradually rebuild the connection. So, if you have lost your heritage language, it is actually not too late, because you can actually reconnect by learning these things slowly and slowly. And I know gradually you are going to rebuild the connection that you lost. But I have a question here. Could learning the language actually become a way of rediscovering part of yourself? Do you think that if a person, when they are learning this language again, would it become, a way of them actually rediscovering part of their self, that actually got lost? Or not even got lost, that part of their selves that they actually didn't know about? Type your answer in the comment section as we continue discussing this, because I want to know what you think. Uh, in my live stream, I usually have these big questions that I ask. And you know what this is? If you had to choose, would you rather, these are for parents and maybe educators who are here. So, if you had to choose, would you rather give your child perfect language proficiency or a strong cultural identity? Type on the comment section what you think is the best or what you are going to choose. Are you going to choose to give your child, the perfect language proficiency, or actually giving them the strong cultural identity? Uh-huh. So which one did you choose? And actually, why did you choose that one that you chose? Uh-huh. So look at this. We have language plus culture plus identity. And then we also have a relationship. Mm-hmm. Which one would you choose? And please tell us on the comment section why you are choosing that particular part. Uh-huh. So, do you think we can actually claim a culture if we don't speak a language? This is where now we are fine, or we are getting our final votes. So we said green is for yes. We also have those people who are not sure that one will give yellow yes, but they have a little bit of reservation. And then you have red, which is no. So, well, if we say yes, we say that language is actually essential. But if we have yes, but we have a little bit of reservation, this is where we say language matters, but it actually isn't everything. And then you have no, where we say that cultural identity exists actually beyond a language. So, which side are you on? Okay. But I'm gonna give my final verdict, or yes, my final verdict of what I think about um, what we have just discussed. That I don't think losing a language means you're actually losing your identity. No, but I think losing a language can mean you losing access to part of your identity. That losing language does not mean that you are losing your identity, but I think losing language means that you are actually losing access to part of your identity that are actually very difficult for you to recover elsewhere. Yeah. And again, maybe belonging isn't something we earn by speaking perfectly. Belonging is not something we earn by speaking perfectly. Maybe language is one of the bridges that helps us find our way back home. Yeah. That is what I think. That let us not lose access to parts of our identity that will actually become very difficult for us to recover anywhere else. Yeah. And language is one of the bridges that can actually help us to find our way back home. Do you agree with my sentiments? Uh huh. Yeah, tell me, do you agree with my sentiment? What do you think about this discussion? Has it changed how you are looking at this controversial topic? Has it uh, opened some discussion that you never had and started looking at different things in a different way? And I will close with this question again that we started with when we were starting our discussion. Do you think language is necessary or cultural for cultural identity? Yes or a no? Thank you so much for being part of our discussion today. It has been a very fruitful discussion. And remember, scan the QR code. Look at what we have in that app, and I know it is going to be very essential for essential to help in your children in learning Swahili. See you in my next live stream where I know we are going to discover yet other things that we did not know of. Kwaheri.